In the quiet green hills of rural Kenya, where red soil stained bare feet and sunsets painted the sky gold, lived a young woman named Amara. Amara was known across the village for her beauty. Her dark hair rested softly on her shoulders, and her smile carried warmth that could calm even the hardest hearts. But people did not only admire her beauty, they admired the life she came from. Her father, Mr. Kamau, was the respected principal of the biggest school in the district. While most families struggled to afford daily meals, the Kamau family lived comfortably. They had a large brick house with a tin roof that glittered under the sun, clean water, and enough land to grow crops all year round. Amara was his only child. To Mr. Kamau, she was not just a daughter, she was his future. He bought her the best dresses, paid for her education, and protected her from hardship. Every night he would say, "Everything I do is for you, Amara. One day, you will lift this family even higher." And Amara loved her father deeply. But love has a way of entering quietly even where rules exist. Not far from the school lived a young man named Jabari. Jabari was poor. His mother sold vegetables at the market, and his father had died years ago. He owned only a few shirts and worked odd jobs around the village to survive. But Jabari carried something many rich men lacked: kindness. He made Amara laugh until tears rolled down her cheeks. He listened when she spoke. He remembered the little things. When she was tired, he walked miles just to see her smile. For the first time in her life, Amara felt seen not as the principal's daughter, but as herself. Their love began in secret. They met near the river after sunset, shared roasted maize under mango trees, and dreamed about a future together. Jabari would tell her, "One day I may not have riches, but I promise you peace." And Amara believed him. But villages have ears. One evening, a teacher from the school saw them together and reported everything to Mr. Kamau. That night, the house became colder than Amara had ever known. "You will not see that boy again," her father shouted. "He is poor. He has nothing." Love does not feed families. Amara tried to explain, but her father refused to listen. For weeks, the house was filled with arguments. Her father introduced her to wealthy men from nearby towns, businessmen, teachers, even a politician's son. But Amara's heart remained with Jabari. One rainy evening, she finally stood before her father with tears in her eyes. "You taught me to respect people," she said softly. "You taught me that character matters more than money. So why can't you see Jabari's heart?" Mr. Kamau turned away in silence. Days later, he gave her an ultimatum. "If you marry that boy," he said, "you leave this house with nothing." Amara cried the entire night. She loved her father. But she loved Jabari too. The next morning, carrying only a small bag of clothes, Amara walked out of her father's house. And for the first time in her life, she entered poverty. The small mud house Jabari rented leaked when it rained. Some nights they ate only tea and bread. Other villagers mocked her. "The principal's daughter has become poor," they whispered. But every morning, Jabari woke before sunrise to work harder. He farmed land, repaired bicycles, carried sacks in the market, anything to provide for his wife. And every night, no matter how tired he was, he still made her laugh. Years passed. Slowly, life began to change. Jabari started a small farming business. Amara began teaching children in the village for free. Together, they built a life from love, sacrifice, and patience. Then one day, news spread across the village. Mr. Kamau had fallen seriously ill. Without hesitation, Amara and Jabari rushed to care for him. Jabari used nearly all his savings to help pay hospital bills, the same man who had once rejected him. Mr. Kamau watched silently as Jabari slept on hospital benches and carried medicine through the night. One evening, weak and emotional, the old principal called Jabari closer. I spent years looking at your pockets, he whispered. I should have looked at your heart. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Her father reached for Jabari's hand. Take care of my daughter, he said. You are richer than many men I know. From that day, peace returned to the family. The village that once mocked their love now admired it. People began telling their children about Amara and Jabari, the couple who proved that true love is not measured by money, status, or approval. It is measured by loyalty. By sacrifice. By choosing each other even when life becomes difficult. And under the same Kenyan sunsets where their story began, Amara would sometimes look at Jabari and smile, knowing she had made the right choice. Because in the end, true love always wins.